Hello. It's been a while since I last uploaded. You might ask, was it your mic again? Was it your mic again? Yes, it was. It was my mic again. It wouldn't work. What do you want me to tell you? Anyways, in the last Chris Hansen live stream, Chris Hansen brought on a clinical psychologist, Lisa Stroman, to talk about onision. She has worked on other cases of online predators as well, and has also worked with the FBI regarding this. So, yeah, I think she has a lot of credentials here. She is the founder and the director of Digital Citizen Academy as well. It's an organization dedicated to, quote, improving the lives of students, parents, and educators through resources, tools, and knowledge needed to foster a healthy balance with technology. That's where I see a lot of the focus of the organization that she has founded. It focuses a lot on digital media and the effects of social media. So, yeah. I guess before I talk about the live stream itself, I should say, well, in any other case, I don't think that this would have been a good idea to have a clinical psychologist analyze a person who she hasn't even met. I don't think that would be a good idea. But with onision, I think that's okay. We're talking about onision here, not like Jake Paul, for instance. There are so many people who have came forward with their stories of being groomed or being preyed upon by this individual. I think it's okay. But again, have to remember that she hasn't actually met onision. And I think she made it clear about what she can comment on and what she can't. And not overstep her boundaries. So, yeah. So let's talk about the show itself.
What makes a guy like this alluring to a young woman?
That's a challenging, it's a challenging question because we're looking at now multiple victims and multiple reasons. I think that you're looking at developmentally the target, I would say generally with the women that he's going after are quite young, many of them underage, it appears. But that developmental period that is post-puberty up until about 25 is a very, very challenging period for anyone going through becoming an adult. And I think you're more vulnerable, you're more susceptible, and more challenged in ways of trying to figure out what your worth is. And he played right into that by having the power to be able to say whether or not you were worthy or not.
I think we already knew that. We already knew that he goes after young, vulnerable people. And it's nice to have it confirmed. And there, she's talking about people who are between the ages of 18 and 25, after puberty and before, being an adult. How old was Sarah again? 13, 14? Oh my God. And also, I want to add that just the way that he acts, look at these pictures. He is trying to be appealing to a younger demographic, even though he is a 34-year-old man.
Some of the survivors have told me that this started because he would have videos saying, if you're down, depressed, don't think about suicide or ending your life, do this. And they found some solace in this, some comfort. And then they began the messaging direct to either Kai or Onision, and it developed, and he would choose which ones he wanted to take this to the next level. And in one case, we talked to a survivor named Sarah, who actually at 16 moved out to the home in Washington State. And Onision and Kai actually obtained guardianship for this young woman. If you listen to what he says, there was no sexual contact until she was of age. But what does that say about somebody who would go that far to groom a young woman and then bring them into a sexual relationship with both Onision and his partner Kai?
Well, to me, it clearly is a statement of his narcissism, his ability to feel like he is the solution to these, to the girls' issues.
I'm glad that this got brought up because I do think that this is a huge part of his content on the internet. These quote unquote advice videos, they are kind of a huge part of his content. And I say quote unquote advice videos because his advice is shit. Blaming people for using self-harm as a coping mechanism, blaming the victims of abuse. His advice is absolute shit. But I guess that mixture of trying to be appealing to a younger audience and trying to give out these advice videos, it kind of attracts an audience of vulnerable young people, I guess. Also, yeah, I think that really does speak to his narcissism, that he thinks that he is the solution and he can solve all of these problems when he can't.
You've reviewed some of his recent videos and some historic videos, and they're hard to watch. I mean, I have a tough time doing it, and I truly appreciate you with your expertise, as both a psychologist and an attorney taking a look at this. He engages in a lot of victim shaming. What are your impressions?
To me, I think it's in a sense, not only is he victim shaming, but he's also victimizing himself. And so he toggles between the idea of blaming others and then, melting down into these, the only thing I can say is really horrid acting behaviors. In 99% of them, I don't think I've ever seen a tear actually come out of his eye. And then he is attacking and blaming what he created himself in these situations by inviting these girls in.
Yep. Again, in his videos, he does re-victimize the victims here. I mean, he went after Sarah like so hard. He tried to portray Sarah as a manipulative liar, as the manipulative one and the bad one in this relationship, and the one that forced two adults to have sex with her. Like, he positions himself as a victim so often, oh my god. And it's not just with Sarah, that happened with Billy as well. After Billy left, that's exactly what happened. So it's kind of nice to have it confirmed here.
This is somebody who has violated many laws that I can see, and is melting down and is escalating very quickly, which makes me nervous.
Why does it make you so nervous?
I think that somebody like Greg doesn't really know how to separate himself. I mean, he's got this character Onision that he's created, and there's a lot of theatrics and drama in the beginning stages of launching his site and getting funding through Patreon and creating this life for himself. And it seems to me that he has multiple different pages, but the human person, the young boy who grew up as Gregory, I'm assuming, in his life, and then became this YouTuber and this person that monetized off of other people's vulnerabilities, I think has lost his way. And so the escalation that worries me is that he doesn't really have anywhere to go. From all intents and purposes, he probably can't go back to any family unit that I can tell that he's ever referred to. And the fact that he appeared in the most recent court hearing looking like he may have had a bulletproof jacket on tells me that he recognizes that he's in a situation where people are coming after him.
Onision doesn't have anything other than YouTube. And now that's going away as well. He doesn't have friends. All of his YouTube friends have left him. He doesn't have a family he can go back to. And if we go by the accounts of Shiloh, all he does all day long is YouTube and talk to his fans. And considering that he has been doing this for like how many years at this point? I think it's been a decade and he doesn't have anything else. And now this is going away. YouTube is fading away. I don't know what's going to be the end result of this. I hope that nothing happens. But again, we don't know, right? We have no idea. And Onision and other people might say, well, if you look at the meltdown videos that he has posted, he has said multiple times that he's not being serious and he's faking it all. But I don't know, man. I really doubt the sanity of a person whose first response on seeing his daughter on the concrete floor or dying is to record her. I really doubt the sanity of a person who think it's okay to record your girlfriend having a seizure, filming her at her most vulnerable moment and putting it online. I don't know. I really doubt the sanity of a person like that. We don't know what can happen here. Is it possible that he can become physically dangerous? In my head, it is. Also, considering the access of weapons that he has, I don't know. I hope nothing happens. I hope I'm fucking wrong and nothing happens and everything goes smoothly and he is arrested and, that's the end of Onision. I hope that's how it goes. But we can't ignore the chances that he can become physically dangerous. And yeah.
What is the damage potentially done to these young women long term?
Well, the damage, having had a conversation with one of them myself, the damage to me is lifelong. I mean, this is something that you don't outlive, you don't outgrow. This becomes what I call kind of an imprint in our heart and our minds of a life period that they are going to have to remember for the rest of their life. There is no MIB blinky light that erases things for these people. So, everything that he's done to these people not only are going to impact their current structure of social construct, but their future of how do they create a trusting relationship with others? How do they become parents themselves? How do they become the people that they would have otherwise become had they not had this experience? That will never happen for them. So it's a lot of therapy and it's a lot of time figuring that out.
Not only have these victims, survivors, I should say, of Onision have to deal with the abuse, but also have to talk about it publicly when a lot of them are still suffering from the effects of the abuse. And not only that, but all of the information about this is online. And oh my God, that must feel so bad. That it must be so anxiety inducing to have all of this stuff just thrown out there in the public eye and having to deal with the abuse and have to deal with that as well. It must be so hard. Oh my God. And the narrative that Onision is trying to set is that, hey, these women did this because they want their 2 minutes of fame. It's so fucking infuriating.
You see a parallel here between what Onision is doing and a killer who goes back to the scene of the crime to relive this experience and essentially enjoy the trauma and torture that this person has caused. Is that fair?
I think that that's exactly what's happening. I think that he's not able to let go. He said on several occasions that I could see, I'm done. I'm going to sign off. I'm not going to show my face anymore. And yet there's 10, 15, 20 more videos after that. So he can't leave it alone and he can't just walk away.
Wow. That comparison, I don't know what to say about that. It's true that he can't move on. He cannot move on and leave the subject alone. He constantly brings it up. There were multiple occasions before where on his website he had said that no, this is the last time that he's talking about the drama, quote unquote. And he won't address it again at all. And yet he does. He then made 30 more videos about this quote unquote drama. He talks about it constantly. But that comparison, oh my God, that I don't know what to say about that, so I'm gonna leave it there.
I mean, Shiloh, who's been on this show, as you know, a couple of times. You've watched the interview. I met with her in person recently out on the West Coast, along with her agent. Very strong woman, stage presence. Been in the public eye since a very young age. She had to drop off the face of social media for a period of time just to cope with this because he had taken off on her in a vicious public way.
So I think that the reason why you have such a strong reaction, particularly with Shiloh, is because of her strength and the fact that she did get away. And I think that to him was a failure. And so when you look at this kind of predatory behavior of these offenders, they go after people and they want to conquer and they win. And she won in this situation.
Right,
she's
exactly.
gotten out, and
she just got her act together. She's back into her career and making music.
Right. And again, I think that, at the end of the day, the people that are able to take the silver lining from these opportunities and these situations like Shiloh and be able to maybe create music around it or build her career and be stronger for it, those are the ones that we want to use as an example here.
Shiloh is a fucking strong woman. I think that he acts so viciously towards Sarah and Shiloh and other victims as well, is because they got away. It's because they left and they got away. That's why he viciously goes after Shiloh, and that's why he viciously goes after Sarah in those 30 plus videos. I mean, he was so mad. He was so mad at Sarah that he had to make 30 videos in the span of 2 days. And why? Because she got away. All the victims, they got away. And he is really upset and angry about that someone can leave him. Wow. So that's all that I'm going to talk about in this video. Go check out the live stream. It was pretty good. It was just 40 minutes long, so it's not that long. If you haven't watched it, you should. It was pretty good. So yeah, that's all that I have for this video. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe for more videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which I'm going to probably record right now because I do not trust this mic. So yeah,